I've done all of that already, Ngozi replied happily. You have done everything. Now go inside and wash all the clean clothes again. She packed all her daughters and they left for the palace. Ngozi quickly rewashed all the clothes and plates again and even rearranged the house. She checked the time, it was just 1 hour remaining for the event to close. She decided to go and sleep before Madam Ndidi will return to start to give her extra chores. She walked straight to her room and lie down on the bed. Then suddenly she decided to just go to the palace to see how the event looked like. Because she was told that different musicians and dignitaries will be coming to the event, she decided to go. On reaching the palace, she sneaked into the crowd and stood in one corner. Then she saw her mother Mama Ndidi pushing one of her daughters towards the prince. Before Ngozi got to the palace, the prince was already tired of seeing all the maidens. He told his father he could not find anyone to marry, that none of the girls caught his attention. His father urged him to pick any of the girls around, but he refused. Then the prince got up to leave. As he was about leaving, something caught his attention. He saw a very beautiful girl standing at the corner. His heart skipped. He had never seen any girl so beautiful in his entire life. He wondered how a girl would look so simple but so beautiful at the same time. He felt like there is a butterfly in his stomach. His gaze continues to court Ngozi. Even the villagers noticed. He quickly walked towards Ngozi and pulled her out of the crowd. "This is my bride," he shouted, "the flesh of my flesh and the bones of my bone." "No, Madam Ndidi shouted. Then Ngozi became afraid and fled the scene. And the prince ordered his guards to chase after Ngozi, to know where Ngozi was staying. When Ngozi got home, she walked straight to her room trying to figure out what just happened. Madam Ndidi and her daughters came. They all gave Ngozi the beating of her life. As they were beating her, the palace guard knocked at the door. Madam Ndidi quickly rushed to attend to them. They told her to prepare Ngozi for a visit in the palace tomorrow. She nodded her head with assurance and they left. She walked up to the room and decided to think of what to do to stop Ngozi from marrying the prince. "I know what to do," she said. "I will go to the village Dibia and collect a portion from him to kill Ngozi. Yes, that is exactly what I will do. I will kill her and see how she will marry the prince, let alone marrying before my daughters." Madam Ndidi rushed to the herbalist. She bought a powdered substance and rushed home. She quickly waited for night to fall to use the substance. When night came, she quickly rushed to Ngozi's room to spray the substance on her bed. As she was going, she saw Ngozi washing the plates in the kitchen. She walked straight to Ngozi's bed, sprayed the substance quickly, and rushed to her own room. She lay on her bed and she was happy that she can finally kill Ngozi for good. By tomorrow morning, Ngozi will be dead. Then the prince will finally marry my eldest daughter. She became very happy and she slept off. The next morning, Madam Ndidi walked up to the kitchen to have a glass of water. She was shocked to see Ngozi washing plates in the kitchen. She was surprised that Ngozi was still alive. What are you doing here? She shouted. Where are my daughters? Ngozi replied her and said, Maria and Kechi are watching television in the sitting room while Peace is in my room sleeping. In your room, Madam Ndidi shouted. Madam Ndidi ran to Ngozi's room and she saw her daughter lying dead on the bed. She screamed and ran out of the house. She ran to the center of the compound and started to cry. The villagers heard the news and they carried Madam Ndidi's first daughter to bury. After the burial, the prince sent his guards to pay a condolence visit to Madam Ndidi and also asked her to prepare Ngozi for a visit to the palace tomorrow, so they can start to prepare for the wedding ceremony. The palace guards did as they were told. They delivered the message to Madam Ndidi and Madam Ndidi gave them assurance and they left immediately. Madam Ndidi ran to a shop where they sell poison and bought a portion of it and left the shop. When she returned home, she went straight into the kitchen. She dished a large portion of food with big pieces of chicken and laced it with poison. She went straight to the sitting room and gave the food to Ngozi to eat, and she sat down watching Ngozi. The moment Ngozi was about to eat the poisoned food, Madam Ndidi's phone rang in her bedroom. Then she rushed to her bedroom to answer her calls. As Ngozi was about to eat the food, Madam Ndidi's daughter rushed into the dining room. She saw the big size of chicken placed inside Ngozi's food. She became angry and jealous of Ngozi. She grabbed the plate of food and started eating. Then her mother returned to the sitting room. She saw her daughter eating the poisoned food instead of Ngozi. She shouted at her daughter to stop, but it was already too late as her daughter fell down and died. She ran outside and began to cry. Soon the villagers heard the news. They carried the girl's body and buried her. After the burial, the prince sent his condolences again and requested for Madam Ndidi to prepare Ngozi for the marriage rites. Madam Ndidi decided to end it all. She decided to kill Ngozi once and for all. Now that Ngozi have made her to lose two of her daughters, she will make her pay. But she needed to devise a careful plan once and for all to end Ngozi, because this time she cannot afford to make any mistake, so she decided to hire assassins to kill Ngozi for good this time around. Ngozi, Madam Ndidi shouted, "Go to that 7 juncture. When you get there, stand for some seconds. 3 men will come out of the bush, and when they come, just tell them my mother sent me. Remember what I told you? Just tell them my mother sent me, and they will understand everything. They will give 5 beautiful dresses for you to wear. It's a gift I ordered for you to wear. My dear Ngozi, you know I have not been nice to you, and you don't have any nice clothes to wear to the palace, so I decided to order those best clothes for you, and also the men will be giving you 5,000 naira. Use it by whatever you like. Now go." Ngozi left and she was happy that Madam Ndidi have started to like her and treat her nicely. As Ngozi was going, she stumbled upon a big block and she fell. Then our remaining living sister, Madam Ndidi remaining daughter, came out of nowhere, poured sand on Ngozi's eyes and dragged Ngozi to the long tree and tied her on the tree with a rope. She said to Ngozi, "So Ngozi, you want to steal the love my mother have for me and you also want to marry the prince? That is not possible. I was in my room sleeping when I heard my mother sending you to go and collect beautiful clothes and money from some men. Ngozi, those beautiful clothes belongs to me and not you. So I sneaked out of the window because my mother locked the door from behind. So I sneaked out so I can stop you from going. You will stay tied in this tree. Let me go and collect the dresses and the money for myself." And she left happily. Ngozi became sad again as she stayed there tied against a big tree. When Ngozi's sister got to the 7th junction, she waited as her mother have instructed. She heard her mother instructing Ngozi before Ngozi left on what to do. She stood and the men came. My mother said before she could finish her statement. One of the men gave her a dirty slap, then the other kicked her on her stomach. Then she sensed danger and started running away. The men started to pursue her. One of them brought out a gun and shot her dead. They walked up to her, checked if she was really dead. As Madam Ndidi warned them not to make any mistake, then they left her. As Ngozi was tied in the tree, a passerby saw her and untied her. Meanwhile, earlier on, Madam Ndidi was just sitting at home celebrating the death of Ngozi when people came and told her that her daughter was shot dead on the street. Then she told them that she is aware that Ngozi was shot dead on the street, that they should stop disturbing her. The people then replied to her that it was not Ngozi that died, but her other daughter. She told them they are lying and she rushed to her daughter's room to check. Then she saw that her daughter have escaped through the window. She ran out of the house to street like a mad woman. At the same time, after Ngozi was untied, she saw people gathered around something and decided to check it for herself. When she got there, she pushed through the crowd and saw her sister lying dead on the floor. As she was about to touch her sister, her mother came and pushed her away. "Ngozi, don't touch my daughter. I wanted to kill you, but I ended up killing my daughter. Whenever I wanted to kill you, I ended up killing my precious daughters. Ngozi, I hate you. Because of you I have killed all my daughters. I must kill you for good today." Instantly she brought out a knife to stab Ngozi. As she was about to stab Ngozi, the prince came and held the knife, and the knife fell from Madam Ndidi's hands. Arrest her for masterminding and killing her own daughters and also attempting to kill my future bride. The prince pulled Amoka to his embrace and decided to console her. Then the village Dibia came and thunderstruck Madam Ndidi. She lost her sight instantly and then she ran mad and ran into the evil forest. All the villagers became surprised, and the Dibia said to them, "From this day, Onwards, everybody should treat Ngozi with care and love, for Ngozi is a child of the gods. 25 years ago, when Madam Ndidi was childless, the god sent her a child and placed the child on the river bank. The child brought her blessings, but when she gave birth to her own daughters, she hated that child, and now see what her hatred cost her. The gods took her 3 daughters, and now she have run mad. She will be mad all the days of her life. Let this serve as a warning to you all. And the Dibia left. The prince carried Ngozi and took her to the palace door, and they fixed a date for their wedding. The wedding day came and they got married colorfully. The marriage became the talk of the town, and Ngozi's story was told from generation to generation, and they lived happily ever after. Now my people, whatever it you are passing through in life, never you give up, because God will always come through for you. Weeping may endureth for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. So my good people of Nigeria and the world as a whole, do not give up, for God is with thee. Thanks for watching Simply Blessing Folktales. I remain your #1 creator, Blessing Ekona Otofwa, popularly known as Simply Blessing. And please do remember to like, share, follow and subscribe. I love you all.